welcome to Georgie's Gundogs at Trails for Tails Dog Training. It's been a while. Hope you're all well. Sorry it's been a while. Like I said, it's been really busy recently. So I am trying to get there. A little opportunity to get. I'm going to get this filming. Try and get on the top of this filming. So sorry it took a little while for this next video. I'd like to say hello to my new subscribers. Also loving, I've been being sent some videos of dogs training, which has been fabulous. I've also been sent messages of especially a lady who had struggle with delivery, how the retrieve pattern game has really helped with the retrieve. So well done to you, and well done, thank you for giving me that feedback and how things are progressing with your dogs and what you're up to. It's absolutely brilliant. Like I said, you're always happy to message me and ask me a couple of questions or tell me how you're getting on with the training. I absolutely love that. That's brilliant, and well done for having these lovely successes. Well done, with you going out with your dogs, and that's all I want, is that you're having fun out there, and that's the main thing. So like I said, guys, keep it up. It's really good, and I'll try and keep up as much as I can with the videos. Like I said, I'm trying to do them when I can. Work is really busy at the moment. Not complaining, never will complain at that. So that's really good. Obviously I have been quite busy with a couple of things, not just work, but Sid did his first working test the other day, and I was just wanting to see where he was at. It was a marker for me. I wasn't going in to win it or anything like that. That was not my aim for a young adolescent. It was just a bit of experience for him. Make sure I don't get a 0. That was a big one of mine, and a marker of where I was at, because I knew there were some elements that we have still not covered yet. So if something went awry, probably we wouldn't be the most solid on it, and that's fine. For him, it was just the experience, getting him out in that situation, having a judge next to it. Luckily I had some cracking judges that I already have stewarded before, so it was nice seeing them again, and they were really nice with some feedback as well. We didn't get placed, but I wasn't bothered about that. It wasn't my aim. It wouldn't have been good for me to win anything anyway on my first one out. What do you learn from it? I learned loads from not being placed in areas. It was a shame. He actually did really well for a first time. The judge actually felt a bit for me, because I think what the judge said is, I think he said if you hadn't done the particular area. So and in hindsight I should have done a few things as well, but it's nice for you to know this. So I like to do a little warm up before I go into anything, and I didn't warm up on my retrieves. I just did hunting. In hindsight I should have warmed up on my retrieves, because obviously with Sid I've been really working on empowering into me. Sometimes on the odd occasion he likes to run around quite spaniely, quite common for spaniels, and he marked it wonderful. We were hunting up, it was a shot and a mark. He marked it fabulous. He was like a bullet to it, picked it, and he came and did a bit of a parade. And the judge said to me it was such a shame when I left the test. He said it was such a shame about that first one, basically saying if he had nailed that I probably would have been up there. But actually I wasn't bothered. I was like, that's feedback for me. I knew my limits, like the blind. He went out. Again, we're still working on blinds, building that confidence, holding areas, stuff like that. For he's 14 months old, he's a baby at the end of the day. I didn't expect clean. I also am just starting to do stopping at a distance handle work as well, which is on commitment and all that. He's just really starting that, because he's got such a good nose. It's very challenging for him. So he's just starting to. I knew he'd overshot it a little bit, and I just used my recall. I wasn't putting my stop on the competition, because I thought, you know what, he's not there yet, so why put something on and ruin it? I didn't. He recalled, a hunt whistle, he found it, buff, brilliant, picked it, delivered it to him. Couldn't fault him on that. He went a bit wide of it, but I wasn't going to ask for handling when he wasn't ready. That looks worse handled to the judge, and I said to the judge, he's just not there yet. This is just experience for him. I was buzzing because he completed every element. Others didn't, right? So for me that was a win. My dog completed every element. Yes, there was areas that needed work, so be it, right? But it's nice for you guys to hear things like this anyway, even though this is not the main subject of this video. It's nice for you guys to hear what I'm up to, what happens when I'm out there, when I'm doing something with my guys. For me, I had loads of feedback, and that's now the next part of his progression, his training. Again, he's an adolescent, so things are going to be up and down. So yeah, it's really good. What was lovely is she was originally my client, but then she's become my best friend. How bad is that after all these years? She went and won the lot, and it was so lovely to see how, because last year when she did the same test she won nothing. This is what I mean, guys, she's gained experience. and Faith and Rhea, I'm going to shout out to them. They won everything. Best handler, best hunting dog, best dog of the day. She beat the open dog. You know, she literally came away with 5 trophies. This girl and this dog smashed it. And last year they won nothing. That was all that experience she gained. Feedback from the experience. Fabulous. All right. So we've got to give a round of applause for that if you're all listening. And you can see pictures are on my social medias. But that just goes to show it's a journey. Dog matured. Dog has had time. Feedback from the test. Stuff like that. All right. So it's just for you, nice for you to know that. And we'll talk about tests and stuff like that later down the line, but I want you just to hear because where I've been and what I've been up to. All right, so for those who are looking at the title and saying, right, get on with what we're talking about, let's do it. So this video is an introduction to steadiness. Okay, that's it. Throwing things about, moving things about, knocking things in front of them, over them, along them, next to them, everything like that. It is so important our dogs can remain where they are and be steady, whether that's sat by your side, whether that's on a stop out in front of you, whether that's on a retrieve, where something's flushed, where something's going on. Because on the shoots, at the end of the day, there's so much going on. There's a lot of time when your dogs are stood around with you or sat by you or sat in front of you, if in the beating line, whatever, and things could be pinging, flying, and they've got to learn to manage themselves. It also helps that they're steady for you to set up exercises for later down the line when you want to put things out, that they don't run in on things. You know, you want to have that steady dog. But the key to it is to break it down. So many people hold dogs back, pull them back, and then wait, or they go hard on them. You know, that's not my personal way. So what I do is different. I'd like to break it down to go give them feedback at every stage of what I'm teaching them. Yes, you're getting that right. Yes, you're getting that right. So for me, it's what you're going to see in this video is just about throwing things, learning to throw things around the dog. That's the first part of it, moving things around the dog. But I might at first just bring that dummy out, tap it, pay. Swing it, pay. Move it, pay. Move it around, pay. I'm breaking everything. I watch that dog as well. What's that dog? If I got a jumpy, it might be a jumpy dog just holding the dummy. If I need to just hold and the dog just sits back, pay. Right, so you have to break it right down for the dog when you're teaching. So don't try and hold them and throw things and then wait. You know, don't get me wrong, there's times on a retrieve and stuff where you might just support them in the early learning and holding them back. But if you teach them, because obviously we don't want to lose drive on this as well. This is why I like the way I teach it, because I'm not losing drive, because I'm keeping them motivated in that moment. All right, in the early stages, I just there moving it about. You'll see it in the video that I'm breaking it down to that dog little by little by little. You can cope with this. You're doing well, giving them feedback in the first session. So if I'm doing it with a little young dog, I might only just hold it and move it about and then put it away. I'm not going to aim to lob it for 10 folds over the dog. Yeah, I'm going to break it down. I want to keep it like with the puppy. I want to keep him encouraged with it. So a little bit, yeah, well done, yeah, well done, yeah, well, yay. You know, they've managed that well. So I don't knock the drive out, because we don't want to, you can make dogs so too steady too early if you are hard on it and then you knock the drive out. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the drive, but we just want to say you can manage yourself with it, and then I'll let them power on it. A couple of times later down the line with the good, the couple will be thrown out, and then the odd one, I'll let them get it. So that's another way they can reward. So if you haven't got the most foodie, you can say, right, we'll move this, well done, and then give them the item that they're being steady for, okay, if you haven't got the most foodie. So have a look what your dog is motivated by. Again, that is so important. So the thing is, with the steadiness, it is that key of breaking it down. It's such a hard thing to do. Their instincts are wanting to chase things, are wanting to catch things, are wanting to run after things, right? Get out and get it. We have just got to teach them, I want that fire, but I just need you to manage yourself. And it's valuable to manage yourself, okay? It's valuable for you to stay back. Yeah, so we want that fun element with it, that feedback. They're getting rewarded. They're getting, yeah, this is good. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Like I said, it depends on the dog. If I've got one that really doesn't want the food and is struggling, then I'll give them a bit of the reward of the thing they waited. Even if I'm holding it, yeah, just throw it to them. Well done. And I might knock it in the air, give it them. then put it on the floor, give it them. Yeah, so they're managing themselves. But this will also transfer the steadiness to other things when we teach steadiness stuff, like so for me, steadiness to flush and stuff like that, steadiness to things thrown around. Can they stay on the retrieve when things are going around them? Can they do this when things are going around them? Steadiness is not just about sitting there and things moving around. Steadiness is everything. You know, out on that shoe, out on that trial, out on that test. Steadiness, another dog working. Can they move past while another dog's working? You know, when I have my two, eventually I teach them, can one go the other way and the other one go the other way, not chasing on the other? Can the other one sit there while I send another dog for it? Yeah, that's steadiness work. Everything we are teaching has always got an element of steadiness, and it's about that dog managing themselves in that moment, okay, without causing frustration. Because sometimes as well, if you don't break it down to the dog, you will get noise, you will get frustration. A lot of dogs, when they're asked too long to be steady, you can see them building and getting more stress. That is not going to help the situation. Where if you've got a calm dog, they can manage it better, then they get the reward. You don't want to send them also on that frustration noises and stuff. You've obviously probably pushed it too much. Even if you get one item out on your first session because your dog loves things that much, that is better than trying to get, I'm going to get everything in 5 minutes, and then the dog blows their head. You'll look at the dog you've got. Have you got a really dog? Then you're better just taking one out. Woo, right, break, go off. Yeah, right, come back again a bit later. Oh, I'll do 2. Oh, break, go off. Yeah, so read that dog. Some dogs will be able to, like, you can pay them all the way down to literally throw it, right? Different dogs, different characters. So read that dog that you've got in front of you. What are they saying? What do they need? You know, some might be steady for Sonata and they might need a play after. Play is so important. Right, play with them after they've done it. Been steady. Yeah, well done. Right, been steady. Right, come play with me. So it all depends on that dog. I know I go on about, but it's so important because every dog is an individual. Every dog has different characteristics. Every dog needs different stages. Some dogs, like I said, you'll have one, like my little black one is quite impulsive compared to what Sid was when I taught it. You know, he's quite, ooh. So I've, like I said, when I'm telling you about the sit stay for the food, you know, that took me a good week to get it to the floor because that was his character. But I didn't want to knock that character out. I need that. I want that drive. You know, not saying Sid's not driven, he bloody is, but he's in a different way. He's quite, yeah, I can cope with that, I can watch that, but I can still fire. Where little man's like, yeah. So for him, that breaking down of that exercise of the steadiness is so important. So like, might even just get it out halfway. I've started to just do a little bit. I'm not asking too much because I want to keep his little impulse. So when this is for puppies, you don't want to over. You want to just little sessions of it, break it down, and then you still keep the fire up, and you can build duration in your steadiness way later down the line with everything. There's a lot of layers to our individual steadinesses, okay? And we have to recognise that in everything you're doing, think it's all steady. Everything we're doing is steadiness, yeah? But we've got to keep it fun so that they enjoy steadiness, so they still want to power on things, power into things, yeah? So it's important. So what I'm going to do in this video with Sid is you're going to see me break. I mean, okay, Sid is experienced at this and it's steady, but I'm going to still break it down so you see the elements that I would do. But like I said, again, read the dog in front of you, and I will talk through as I'm teaching anyway, like, because I like to do that. But it's that breaking down, you know, and it's actually a good thing at the moment for Sid being an adolescent. I'm going to go over some of the foundation stuff again with him. I think it's good for him as adolescents to have that, not too over to advance, because he needs that as well, but to remind him of the areas here at this age as a teenager that I still need him to be aware that he can manage and do that, and give him the feedback he's still on that right track. So if you have any questions about steadiness, please ask me. I like teaching steadiness. I absolutely love it. It's really good fun. And once you really can progress it on, it's just brilliant. It makes life a lot easier, especially if you've got single hold households. You can set up things because you've taught that steadiness. You can set up exercise when you've got dummies out, directional work, whatever. You know you have a better chance of that dog not running in to make errors and then get self-rewarded than the dog that hasn't learned that steady, and there's a lot of battle there. So, and that's another thing before I forget, before we get onto the video clip. If you have a single hold household dog, you don't want to give them everything anyway, because when you have a single household dog, they think everything's theirs because they're used to having everything. So you need to sometimes teach them everything that goes on the floors, things that happen, is not always theirs. That's why it's good for them when they can, if they're right to and they're comfortable with the dogs, is working with other dogs, so that they learn to watch other dogs work and not everything they're there. That's the beauty when you sometimes have a couple of them. You can teach them. My little pup's already getting used to Sid going before him and doing things before him, even if it's simple things with the dinner bowls. I have them two sat there and I might send Sid first. Little man's got to wait and Sid after, or the other way round. So they watch another dog go while they're managing themselves for whatever they want. Okay, so with a single whole household, when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that everything you're lobbing out doing, you don't always give it them. You sometimes pick it up, take it away. Right, that isn't yours today, not yours. Yeah, so they learn that self-control. Not everything is there, because when it's the only dog, they get everything, and that's important. They learn not to. That's the beauty of, you know, I mean, I have 4 dogs anyway, but you know, they do learn to share a bit more. But I'm not saying, and not everybody can, and it's not always wise for every dog to have a multi-dog household. That's not what I'm saying. But when you do have your single hold house dogs, be aware of that. Teach them that sometimes not everything that you're going to set up is theirs. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video is you're going to see me and Sid break down the steadiness exercise, of how I break it down, how I teach it, and this is just the introduction to it. We will get it more advanced later down the line, but for now this is just the introduction to the huge buzzard watching that. We are going to break it down and you are going to see how we start it off. So this is another element you can have. So when you're setting up your retrieves, sometimes when you need them to be steady, you'll see when I go teach you other things about how this will all transition, join together, and we start building in them layers that are coming to join like a chain together. Okay, right, so lovely to see you all again, and I hope you enjoy the steadiness video. Looking forward to your feedback on it. All right then, guys, see you later. Bye. Right then, so we're going to introduce steadiness to your dogs. Okay, so right then, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have an article out, bring an article out. So if you've got those dogs, have a think. That's why I like to use the place board, because it's an area that I know I've got value on. Okay, you can also, I would recommend doing it off the board as well, but for now, if in the early stages I've got an area the dog likes to be sat on, we've got a lot of value on that board, so I'm going to use it to support what I'm teaching the dog, which is today is steadiness of throwing things. Okay, so what I was doing, it might be a case if you've got a bouncy dog and you just got in your top, some of them might be jumping at you. We'll start straight away. They go in and they remain themselves pay. Good boy. Yes, good boys. I've just shown the article. Managing himself, staying where he is. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. I'm not going too wild. I'm not making loads of noises. I'm not asking him to sit, wait and all that. I'm breaking it down. I might just swing it. Hold it. Yes. Good boy. Because even this, for some dogs, is hard work. What I loved about Sid when he was doing the test, when I passed over the stuff to the judge, he never jumped at the judge. A few of the dogs were jumping at the judge when things were handing. This is about learning that self-control. When I take the dummy, you manage yourself. Whenever it's thrown, you manage yourself. So like this time, swing it that way, because there'll be times when your dog sat by you, you need to swing that dummy out. Pay. Pay. And I do this at the side and in front of them. Might just go like that. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. All I'm doing is that, managing himself, not running in. Yes, good boy. But if your dog is struggling with that, don't push it to that, okay? Don't forget, Sid has done this before. Break down, like I said, if you only get to this with your dog in that first session, that is fine. It's about breaking it down, giving that dog feedback, okay? Whatever dog's in front of you. Good boy. Yes, good lad. Yes, good boy. Right, put it to the floor. Watch, I do it between my body. So if he did go for it, I could pick it up. Yes, good boy. You can see the challenges come on a bit more. It's a bit harder. Yes, good lad. Yes, good boy. Good lad. And you can also, you can also do it in front. Yes, good lad. Yes, good boy. Yes, good lad. Yes, good boy. You have different movements. You have low, replicating things that are going across them. Yes. Where you chuck things low, high, up high, over, around them. Yes, good boy. Yes, good lad. I'm showing you a bit more than I might do on his first one. So with the puppy, I might have only got to there and then stopped. Okay, so remember that. You don't have to literally follow what I'm exactly doing. Do what's right for your dog. Sid can manage this because he's done it a lot more. Okay, so go with how your dog is giving. Make sure you're little and often when you're first teaching it. Then build your duration in it. Okay. And like I said, sometimes you can see he's picking up because I turned. He thinks I'm throwing it. And I'm going to wait for him to sit back down and pay him. So eventually you might go, pick it up, go back in and pay. Now this is after a few times. I wouldn't recommend that on the first one. You might get some you can do that, brilliant. But think about what you're doing. And I'm picking it up so he doesn't always think everything lands. The floor is his. So what I might do, because he's done so well, is I might just give him a little retrieve. Get it. Yes, good boy. And I'm going to finish there. Give him a good play of the ball. Finished. Get it. Yeah. So I give him a little, because he managed himself watching it fall. All of that, I gave him a little retrieve. Just to say well done. Sometimes I might not in my session though. Sometimes I might go and throw it everything around, not giving it. But what I am doing is I'm giving him that feedback. If you do eventually wait, something is going to come, right? Because there might be times when they are. Something's going to happen or somewhere. Just manage yourself, all right? So that is the introduction to steadiness.